Hello everybody, how are you all doing? Welcome back to Man City Unplugged, your very own Man City fan channel. Uh, it's Carabao Cup night after that defeat against Aston Villa. I mean, I don't know if you guys have actually recovered from it and stuff, but I don't know. I just feel that defeat is unprepared. It almost, I know I don't want to bring memories of that back, but for me that defeat brought me back way back to 2000. I think 21 was it, the pandemic year, where we lost the Champions League to Chelsea. Honestly, that was the year when we could have won the quadruple as well. Imagine a Premier League team winning a quadruple and a treble. That would just have been insane. We could have won the quadruple as well that season when Chelsea defeated us both in the FA Cup, I think, and also in the Champions League. That Aston Villa match sent me back to Champions League final where Fernandinho was there, Rodri was there, and yet he decided to play Gundogan, which was a mistake in itself. And against Aston Villa, he decided to play Tijani Reinders over there. I mean, it's not as much as playing Tijani Reinders over there, which I'm okay with. But him playing John Stones and bringing him back into that midfield role again, getting him into the midfield to form a box, and then not playing Nico Riley and playing Guardiola at left back. Guardiola does not have the pace to be a left back. He has good pace to be a centre back. He does not. It's almost like playing Virgil van Dijk at left back. That's what playing Guardiola at left back is. So it's more about tinkering. I was okay with Reinders playing CDM. The Reinders has told many a time that he does not like to be involved in one-on-one duels and all of that stuff. But I mean, changing what was working, to be honest, that was the mistake which Pep made, and we were not able to open Villa up. That honestly was a dull match, a match that showed why we are not yet ready to be title contenders. And after that match, what I see in the social media, in Reddit and stuff, particularly, is that the wingers are useless. Reinders is useless. Phil Foden needs to up his game. And I mean, and mostly everybody went on the wingers. I know even in this community, people say that the wingers are not good. People actually say that the wingers are they're not up to the mark that City require. I've seen people in general as well asking me why didn't we sign a Rodrigo in place of Savinho? It has to be a no-brainer. Why didn't we sign XYZ winger? Why did we sign Doku, for example, when Olise was available? What I would like to say is, yes, Savinho is thrash. Let's not do, at least right now, with respect to form, he's thrash. Doku does not have the end product. But let me just tell you that 19 years of age, Savinho is 19 years of age, might be 20, 19, 20. Doku is 20 to 23 years of age. I'll just ask you one question. I'll just ask you one. I'll just ask you one question. Where was Cristiano Ronaldo, and at the age of 19 or 20? Was he doing what was he already doing what the great Cristiano Ronaldo did after a few years? No, Ronaldo was still developing. Zlatan developed at 25. So I think 19, 20 years you expect inexperienced wingers. We're building a squad. We're not building a squad to win the title today. We are not Chelsea. Even Chelsea has moved away from what sort of Roman Abramovich did when he bought squad to win the now. Chelsea have, even Roman in his later years realized that was not sustainable. He moved away from that approach to building young talents and stuff. That is what Chelsea is doing today. Continuing that same thing. I think it's the same with us. We're not building to win the title today. We will not win the title this season. I mean, it's good if we can, but honestly, that the rebuild, there's a very little chance that we win the title this season. No, we don't, because we're rebuilding. These inexperienced wingers, we don't. But then we are building for the tomorrow. We're building for the honestly for this 4 5 years of dominance that we always did from 2017 to till now. We're building for that. And I think Savinio and Doku in long term, whatever their flaws is, as they gain experience, I think they will overcome it. They'll develop into mature, experienced wingers, have the confidence. So what I request is a little bit of patience from all of these, from all of our fans, especially our wingers. I mean, people are going in on Oscar Bob as well. 18 years, 19 years of age, 19, 20 years of age, I think Oscar Bob, 2021 actually, not 18, 2021. So young again. And what I will do is I will go on Pep. Pep is also not making it easy for those wingers. There are no fullbacks overlapping. I still don't understand why fullbacks don't provide us the width and why wingers provide us the width. Fullbacks can provide us the width, wingers can go narrow, which means the defense will not be able to man mark, opposition defense will not be able to man mark Erling Haaland so easily. I don't know why Pep doesn't do that. The Aston Villa defeat is more on Pep Guardiola than anything else, than our wingers. And I back all our wingers. Oscar Bob, Sabinho, Doku. Three extremely young wingers, 21 years of age is nothing, guys, in football. No experience. Today Foden needs to perform. Foden's not playing, buddy. Foden's not playing. I can see the lineup on the screen, mate. Foden's not playing. Divine Mukasa is playing along with Ryan Sherky. Very excited for Ryan Sherky. JSK is here. Hey, JSK, how are we doing? He says at 2008, how old was he? Was he? It was his peak season. I don't know. I'll just check, JSK. I'll just check. Let's see. Uh, Cristiano Ronaldo. A. I'll just check a moment. He was around 23, 24 years. JSK was around 23 to 24 years, slightly ending his 23rd year and moving towards his 24th year. So Ronaldo was around 23, 24 years in his peak season, which he actually started. And Gary Neville told something very interesting about Ronaldo's peak season. Gary Neville told Ronaldo came and in Ronaldo's first season, second season, I mean, we didn't see much. This was an ordinary guy. But then one summer, he just went, and when he came back to training after the summer holidays or whatever, he was just twice the player. He worked absolutely hard that summer, and he was just absolutely insane. Gary Neville credits that to his absolute insane work ethic. So Ronaldo was around 23, 24 in his peak season. So then Savinho is just 1920. Doku is around 2023, I think, right now. So we expect Doku in the next 2 years to go to his prime. And look at Mohamed Salah. I can give you examples. I mean, the greatest wingers that have come to this league. At what age? Salah at 19, 20 years was a flop. Salah at 19, 20 years was sent home from Chelsea. See, they sold him. And Salah didn't blossom until 25, 26. What was he when he came to Liverpool and started his fantastic season? I think he was around that age, 25. So Salah, one of the greatest wingers, Ronaldo, Salah, Eden Hazard, one of the greatest wingers in the Premier League. They'll be the top five wingers. Salah didn't start his peak until 25, 26. Eden was just a different breed, but then I think except Messi, I think there are plenty of examples of especially wingers, because wingers for me have to go 1v1s. I think the judgment takes experience. The judgment obviously takes experience. So that's why I just request all of you guys to give them some time. That's all. Yes, because this Ryan Sharkey is of Algerian descent. Probably that's why Pep hasn't started him. He hates African players. Pep, in fact, actually loves Sharky. Against Spurs, Pep started him in the cam role. Pep didn't give that cam role to Foden for 4 years, but Pep already started him. Pep already started him against Swansea City. So I think the referee already gave the foul. The ball is in the back of our net. The ball is in the back of our net. I mean, I know some the examples of Samuel Eto'o, Yaya Toure, and all, but Ryan Aitnauri. He's also of Algerian ascent, if I'm not wrong. I think he's also of African ascent. I don't know the country. Ryan Nauri and then Ryan Sherky. There are quite a bit of African players, to be honest, in our in our squad. Swansea are actually pressing very high, so it's interesting. Swansea are pressing high, and we have lost the ball. I mean, Swansea are dominating possession. This is very interesting. Swansea are absolutely dominating possession here. I don't know. In playing in between the lines, Ake Kushanov. It will be very interesting to see how Ryan Aitnouri combines from that left hand side. To be honest. Again, it's a young squad coming through, and I think next season you'll see Swer Nipan coming in. Swer Nipan is around 19 years of age. He plays absolutely brilliantly. I mean, box to box. Cam is one of the. I mean, you remember Frankie De Jong if you see Swer Nipan plays on loan and the championship and is doing extremely well. He'll come back. Max Elin will come back. I think John Stone's natural replacement. So it will be very interesting to see how this young squad goes through. Yes, I know fans are impatient. They're impatient because, I mean, we are impatient because four titles in a row, six titles of 7 years. When you go through that entire journey over a course of 7 years, where you win six titles, Champions League, numerous domestic cups, every season in those 7 seasons was almost a given that you won the Premier League title because you were playing so well. So I mean fans will find it hard to accept that you're not going to win the title this year. But then it's important that we build the base well. That we build the base well and do not rush just buying two or three ready-made players and just going for it. It's very important that even if the rebuild is a bit slow, build the base well because if the base is built well, it can serve you in the same way for the next 6 or 7 years, to be honest. Because you've seen what happens when the base is not built well. Arsenal no title for 21 years. United no title for 13 years. Liverpool took another what? How many more years? I think 1 or 2 decades to win their first title. Swansea are attacking very well. Oscar Bob does well in his defensive duty, but honestly, the Swansea player hit his teammate. But Swansea are breaking in on City, need tidy possession. It's going to be very interesting matchup. Especially, I'm interested in this midfield because I'm especially interested in this midfield because for the first time in a long time, I think we have a proper DM in Nico Gonzalez and then two proper attacking midfielders. Reminds of Fernandinho, De Bruyne and Silva. I don't think after that era Pep has ever played two attacking midfielders. Ryan Cherky dropping back and Mukasa being high up. Ricolu is involved in the build-up. James Trafford. I was surprised by how comfortable Donnarumma is on the ball. Not at Edison level, but he is comfortable. He's not a monster on the ball like people made him out to be. Nathan Ake coming out with the ball. Guys, do check out Max Align. He's just outstanding. 2 feet, extremely calm, can take the ball into the midfield. Nico Gonzalez does well there. He's excellent at evading pressure, to be honest. Probably, I think most of the Barca graduates are at evading pressure. Does not matter which position you play. If you're a graduate from the Barcelona academy, you probably know how to evade pressure. That's a great ball and excellent ball. Who gave the ball? Let me see the player. Let me see the replay. But what a ball that was! What a wonderful ball that was! What a wonderful ball that was! Switch to the winger by Swansea and good defending. Very good defending. City are under the cosh. This ain't gonna be an easy game. This ain't gonna be an easy game. Swansea are playing very, very well. Much, much better than I have actually imagined. Swansea are playing exceptionally well. Nothing Ake on the ball. I mean, I don't know why Ake is bringing it out very, very slowly. Swansea are pressing in a 4-4-2 structure, I know. But Kushano, that is a good pass. Ricolo, Oscar Bob, we are not at all playing on the side of Ryan right now. Ryan Cherky with the ball. Cherky does absolutely well. Defend Mukasa does well. There's a ball out there right now. Doku, there's a ball out there to Doku, but Cherky does not play it. Cherky does not play the ball to Doku. Ah, fantastic football that. Almost Marmoush had a tap in there. Mukasa is playing very, very well there. Mukasa is making some excellent runs. Ah, good cross by Rico Lewis. This match is very, very exciting. Very interesting. I thought it would be Swansea sitting back and City attacking, but Swansea are sitting in a low block. It's not like that, sort of mid block. It's not like they're coming onto us, but Sherky and Mukasa are just looking very, very good in the middle of the City midfield. Mukasa is actually looking more assured than Phil Foden. I do not think Phil Foden should play anywhere in the midfield. Maybe in the deeper role, but he should not come anywhere near central attacking midfield, I think. Ryan Sherky almost. That was one of the classics of Ryan Sherky. Look at him making that run. Almost. It's almost for Ryan Sherky. 1-2 is give and go. This is absolutely superb there from Sherky. This is end to end. Guys, this is a wonderful basketball game. It's almost going end to end. It's almost going end to end in a controlled pace. Wow. But that run by Ryan Sherky there was outstanding. Hope they show the replay, but no, they're not showing it, but what a run that was by Ryan Sherky. I mean, the interesting thing about playing Mukasa and Sherky in the midfield is the runs they're making. Marmoos is dropping, but Mukasa and Sherky both have made runs. We never see it with Phil Foden when Phil Foden plays there. Yes, Ryan does makes it, but Phil Foden hardly makes those runs nowadays. I think I saw that one versus United, but after that, I've not seen that one at all from Phil Foden. Just see, I mean, midfielders making runs is just a nightmare to deal with for the opposition. I don't know why City's midfielders beat Foden, especially why he doesn't make it. And Reinders is also not making it nowadays. It's a Swansea free kick and good defending again. Swansea is actually playing very, very well. Each ball into the box is actually very, very good. Very difficult game. This chaos, balls is bouncing. They're aggressive in the press. They're aggressive in the tackle. This is not going to be an easy game. They want the ball. They're demanding the ball. Wow. The wingers are high and wide. They're asking a question every time. And Swansea score. It's 1-0. Swansea score. It's 1-0. Swansea score from outside the box. It's 1-0. Swansea score. Wow, this was coming, guys. This was on the plate. Swansea score. I mean, Kushano just shooting on the inside and at the edge of the box. It's eerily similar to what Matikas did from the set piece. What have we learned then? What have we learned from that Villa game? The goalkeeper cannot do anything. I'm sorry. Kushano there, the winger. Kushano shows him on the outside. know who's marking the guy on the edge of the box. I don't know who's marking the guy on the edge of the box. Absolutely do not know. Shambolic defending. That is the perfect shot from outside the box. Hits the bar and then goes inside. You just cannot do anything with that. That is a superb shot. Keeper absolutely cannot do anything. But it's all on. I mean, it's not even on Kushano as well. He does well, shows him on the outside. Sorry, it's right now he does well, not Kushano. Right now he does well, shows him on the outside. But someone should be marking him at the edge of the box. I don't know what. I don't know what they're doing. Is this going to be one of those cup runs? Every time we are bloody getting eliminated in this stage. Last time by Newcastle, right now. Before that season by West Ham. I don't know what was that defending, honestly, because who was the one who was not marking? We need to be very, very careful now because Swansea are looking like they can easily score two. That is excellent there by Ryan Sharkey. Ah, good block, Swansea. But Sharkey is making some very, very good runs. Sharkey is making some excellent runs. Aitnauri does very well. What a piece of skill by Aitnauri. Has to pull off the shot. Mukasa had to pull the trigger there. I know there was no chance, but Mukasa had to pull the trigger there. Mukasa had to bloody pull the trigger there. Kushanov, Natanake, excellent piece of skill by Ryan Nauri in the move before, but Jeremy Doku, Jeremy, get inside, drive at them. Has to give it to Oskabab. Oskabab gets it. Width on the outside by Rico Lois. This is what I was telling. Fullbacks maintaining the width. Natanake. Almost a good ball by Ake. Well tried. This is this. Good press by City there. Excellent press. That's excellent press by City. Mukasa has the final pass, guys. The final pass, and there's a Swansea striker who's actually playing off the final defender so that we don't push up so much. But again, the move continues. The movie continues. Right now, Jeremy Doku. Right now, again. Kusano. Shubhankar is here. Hey, Shubhankar, how are you doing? Unsavable shot, but it was just an outstanding shot. Hit the pole, and even Donnarumma can't save it, which means no one can save it in the world. Period. But I was disappointed by Aitnauri does well to show him on the on the outside, and then I was disappointed by the midfielder who didn't mark him. Probably was Sharky or Mukasa. I don't know. I'll have to see the replay back, but you cannot leave someone free on the edge of the box. That's an excellent ball. That's a superb ball there and good defending. Swansea are defending well. Swansea are defending well. Shubhankar says Mokasa is lacking the physical game. I thought he was all right. He was all right, mate, in the last game. I think he's all right. He moves. He's moving. Aitnauri on a yellow card, not looking good. I think Aitnauri on a yellow card is struggling defending Aitnauri. Struggling defending there. But I thought Mukasa moved well in the pockets. He was good. He just looked up to speed. I don't think he's lacking in physicality, and I don't think physicality is that important for an attacking midfield player. As long as you're two steps ahead of the game, you saw David Silva. David Silva was one of the most unphysical like player to play in the Premier League ever. David Silva, Juan Mata, this kind of players they should not normally work, but they're two steps ahead of the game. then you can tell why is Florian Wirtz not working. He's just two steps behind the game. That's why the physicality is showing up. Ryan Cherky, Mukasa does well. Good ball by Mukasa. Oscar Bob, Oscar, go in and drive. Oscar, go in and drive. Nico Gonzalez, the switch should be faster. Nico Gonzalez, that ball from Aitnauri to Doku, they're blocking it. They're blocking it. It's not working. I think we need to come up with another plan. That ball is not working to Doku. That ball to Doku is just not working. Aitnauri to Doku. I think it's been twice that they've tried the ball. It's just not working. I think Jeremy Doku should engage the fullback, and then Aitnauri must make those runs. That is fantastic there. And it's a corner for City. Hopefully Mamush hits the corner. Shubhankar says agree, but today Mukasa is assigned for the box to box role. I don't think Shubhankar. I don't think Shubhankar because at least till what I have seen, I think yes, Mukasa has dropped back once or twice, but primarily I think it's Ryan Sharkey who's been given the task of doing the box to box role, and Mukasa is mostly trying to be in the pockets and make those runs. I think early on there's a ball on over the top, and Mukasa and Marmoush I think both ran. I think the job of Mukasa is mostly to make those runs. Edge of the box. Swansea look at from the corner as well. They're actually leaving the striker high and wide, which means City are not able to commit. Interesting tactics from Swansea City. This match is going to be extremely tough. I mean, when you would have seen the fixtures list, Palace, Liverpool, Brighton, Arsenal, you probably would have thought easy fixture for us, but nothing's going to be easy this season. Nothing's absolutely going to be easy. And this match, if you don't go through, there's nothing to blame on as well. You've gone with one of your strongest teams. You've absolutely gone with one of your strongest teams. Art Nauri, Kushano, Ake, Nico Gonzalez, Sharky, except Mukasa. Everyone's experienced it at the highest level. Shubhankar says we are losing too many balls in the midfield. That's true. That's true. We are losing too many balls in the midfield. That's true. I agree, but I think Pep's played that system. He's played two camps, so I think Pep has taken that to be a danger. We are losing balls in the midfield, but the advantage is you have an extra player high up the pitch, so that you have more attacking impetus. And anyway, this season we have gone into a team who do not necessarily want to keep possession. Our average possession is around 53%. That's it. Pep has never averaged more than 68% across a season. So Pep is willing to concede possession this season. So I think we are mostly playing on trap, go on the counter, almost Pep Linders style. How Pep Linders did it at Liverpool for Klopp. So Pep is okay conceding possession in the midfield, and we will lose balls in the midfield this season. That's excellent there, and that's again a corner for City. Baiji says Nuri is a mess. I mean, exactly, Baiji. Why we even bother taking corners? The answer why we even bother taking corners is that is because we want to create for the other team. Look at what happened against Aston Villa, Bayaji. Phil Foden took a corner, and and Villa went on a counter attack. Ole Watkins, Donnarumma saved us. Again, what a stupid corner this is. But with the Aitnauri thing, Bayaji, I think see there are two options for him: either go into the tackle or show him on the outside. And I think once the winger enters the box, and I think once the winger enters the box, I absolutely do not think you can go into that tackle. That's very risky unless you're an Aaron Van Bissaka or something. But so Aitnouri did the next best thing to show him on the outside. But the problem is there was no one, marking that guy on the edge of the box. It's almost how Bruno Fernandes does, He does not mark his people and someone arrives at the edge of the box and scores. Emil Smith Rowe, us with Will Foden. So same error. That was same error over there. So I won't blame Aitnouri. And Aitnouri attacking wise has been good. There have been some sharp instances. Suvankar says, remember, right now is coming back from an injury. True, true, true. And also, I think that was not a right now mistake to an extent. And yes, I will agree that Nico Riley in that instance would have just won the ball. What will be a mess if we concede the second goal. And Rico Lewis is absolutely, I think Rico Lewis, I think Rico Lewis is struggling at right back as well. Del Brogan 6347 is here. He says, Man City for life. Come on, City. We, we need all of your guys' support more than ever. Because 1-0 against Swansea City. That's why I bloody do not take that. That's almost a good run there. I think it was from given Mukasa, but the ball wasn't that accurate either. Rico Lewis is absolutely playing dog shit. Rico Lewis is playing absolute dog shit, guys. What the hell? Why does Pep play Rico Lewis at right back? I just don't understand what. Why even try that when you know it doesn't work? Bro's not got the physicality. Bro's not got the pace. Bro's not got anything. I don't know. He's an excellent midfield player. Play him anywhere across the midfield. Maybe not CDM, but why do you bother playing Rico Lewis at right back? Just don't understand. Shubhankar says that right hand side attack has come to still. It almost looks like the tire is punctured on the right hand side. There's no attack on the right hand side, and the defense on the I mean on the right hand side, on our right hand side, Oscar Bob is defending well than Rico Lewis. You could very well have played Oscar Bob at right back position, which just tells you how shit Rico Lewis has been. Why this says Lewis should be given full time midfield role. Never looked suited for fullback. Exactly. I mean, against Monaco, he was top. A corner. Hope we don't concede from this corner. What the hell? I almost thought the ball fell to a Swansea player. What the fuck are we doing, man? From corners. That's very well done. There's a counter attack on. It's a 3v3 at the back. It's a 3v3 at the back. Swansea are recovering, but still it's almost a 3v3 at the back. But a foul on Marmoush. For a moment, it was a 3v3 at the back. But Swansea recovered well. Swansea recovered well. Against Bayaji against Monaco, he was top. He was absolutely top, Rico Lewis. And again, what Pep does, if you play very well, I transform you back into that old role where you have been performing shit. Thank you, Pep. And another thing is, I do not think Marmoush can play alone as a striker. I think we discussed it a lot of times here. Marmoush cannot play alone as a striker. I mean, even at Frankfurt, he was paid with Hugo Ekitike as a secondary striker, just playing off the striker. I do not think Marmoush's strength is making runs just from behind the striker. And that is also costing us today because there's no. It looks Marmoush is playing, but there's no real attacking threat in those areas. It's not like an Erling Haaland is playing. That is showing actually. Bayaji says Pep obsessed with inverted fullbacks, and we lost against Aston Villa just because of inverted fullbacks. Bayaji, I think from now on, each one of us, including me, whenever we blame our wingers, be it Savinho, Doku, Marmoush, Oscar Bob, whoever, we must blame Pep for not allowing the fullbacks to give width to the wingers. If you bloody tell Cristiano Ronaldo in his prime to hold width, and your fullback's not providing any width, Ronaldo will be just half the player. Very good ball that is. He should have gone down there unless the player got the ball. The Swansea player got the ball, maybe. Again, taking a corner. It's on Pep. It's on Pep. Whenever we blame our wingers, the first question we need to ask is Pep Guardiola giving our wingers the best platform to perform? And the answer, unfortunately, is no. Where is the width provided by your fullbacks? What the fuck is that corner, mate? Why are you taking corners? Who is that set piece coach? Fantastic ball. That was from Ryan Sharkey. What a ball from Ryan Sharkey, and no one bloody gambles. What a ball from Ryan Sharkey. What a ball that is from Ryan Sharkey. Just look at it. Why doesn't anyone gamble? Where is the far post run, Jeremy? Where are you, Jeremy? What the hell? What the fuck are you doing, mate? What a ball from Ryan Sharkey that was. Shubhankar says for teams that sit back low, we have to start taking long shots. Exactly. That's why I don't understand why we don't take long shots as well when we have got some of the best long shot takers in the league. Foden's one of the best with his left foot in terms of long shots. He's completely stopped taking long shots, which must have been an instruction under Pep. Marmoush is an excellent long shot taker. Marmoush, Sharkey, Foden, Reinders, Gonzalez, Rodri, and we hardly take any long shots. We becoming prime Arsene Wenger Arsenal where you want to walk the ball into the net. Again the switch onto the wing. Right now he does well right now, but that switch onto the wing on the left hand side is just catching us off. And what I propose is play Nico O'Reilly on the as left back and play Reinhard Nauri as left winger. I was on the chat with a friend and he was casually asking who are he was a United fan, but he was asking who are your best wingers. He told Doku and all. I told him right now he's the best winger. That's how bad our wingers have been. But yeah, again, like we spoke about again. So Rico Lewis. Again, almost just saved, guys. Just saved. We are surviving here against Swansea. What the fuck? Rico Lewis would have almost given up that goal. What the fuck? Why says poor Sharky put it on a plate, but nobody at the end of it. Even the Villa match by Aji, I think he put it on a plate for Marmoush, but Marmoush. What the fuck was that? What the what the fuck was that? That should have been 2-0 Swansea. That should have been 2-0 Swansea. What are we playing? That's a gift. What are we playing? That's a gift. That's a gift. What the fuck was that? I think Trafford does extremely well to save it. Trafford does extremely well to save it. Good save, Trafford. Good save, Trafford. This is what happens when you have had a world class performance against Arsenal at right back, against very good wingers, Martinelli, Ise, and stuff, and you get thrown into centre back. This is a joke of a defense. This is an absolute joke of a defense. We are lucky, guys. We are 1-0 down. We are absolutely lucky. YG says this is what I hate about our wingers. They aren't in a position for easy tap ins, which is bread and butter for Sterling. Exactly, exactly. I mean, be in the positions and miss, no problem. But get into the positions. Imagine Sterling. Sterling had Kevin De Bruyne, I know, but Sharky is also providing the same quality of balls. What the hell? Again, turning possession over easily. Trafford does well. Guys, tell me, can even one of those players defend in the defense? Rico Lewis, defensively inept. Nathan Ake, far off the hill after the treble season. Ake is not even, Ake is gone. He's never been in his prime. Reinhard Tauri doesn't know how to defend. Kusanov, maybe he's just getting in. So three-fourth of our centre backs, our back four cannot defend. Three-fourth of our back four cannot defend. This is just this is just very bad. This is just very very bad. I mean, I'm just having heart attack here every time. I mean, why this is? I mean, question of shambolic. पूरी टीम बांग का कराई है. बांग नहीं भैया जी, बांग नहीं. कुछ और भी पी कर आई है. अकेली बांग से तो ये नहीं होता. कुछ और भी नशे में है. पूरा टीम नशे में है. सारा टीम नशे में है. Doku, that's very well done. Jeremy, pass it. I think it's a corner for City. Yes, it's a corner for City. Shubhankar says zero ball, forward ball progression. That's what Shubhankar. Exactly the point we were talking about. Marmos is never a one-man striker. Hugo Ekitike in there when he's done well here. Haaland, he cannot play as a lone striker, which means he's dropping in a bit. There's no one troubling the Swansea centre backs. That is the main problem. Why do we have to waste 30 seconds to give the ball straight to the goalkeeper? Bhaiya, laddu le lo. We can say and give it to the goalkeeper directly and get back, right? क्यों 30 सेकंड 1 मिनट वेस्ट करना गोलकीपर को डायरेक्ट बॉल देने के लिए आई मीन आई ऑलवेज गेट फ्रस्ट्रेटेड व्हेन वी टेक कॉर्नर्स व्हाट द फक वाज दैट why this is why the fuck Nico G is so hesitant about long balls when forwards are making runs don't know Bayaji don't know that's what even I'm surprised about. We are even hesitant to make those near post runs. We're hesitant to make those, long balls when Mukasa and Sharki are consistently making those runs. Look at it again. A ball just hit out. This is one of the worst weeks of the season, I think. And Swansea City are winless in their last 15 meetings with Manchester City. Shubhankar Sake is still good as left centre back, and Kusha is better at right back. And I think Ake is good, Shubhankar, but Ake needs to be paid with a Guardiol, for example, or another accomplished centre back. If you tell Ake, especially at this stage of his career, to especially be the lead centre back, which he is with the inexperience of Kushano, I just think that's not Ake's forte anymore. That is not Ake's forte anymore. And also I think with Kushano is sometimes a bit rash when playing a centre back in those one-on-one duels, which you will learn with experience. But at right back, I think you get more of a chance to show your physicality. Making a challenge and missing it at right back, unless it's inside the box, is not so perilous. It's not so subkatama. It's not like that. But when you miss a challenge as centre back, I think it's mostly like you're leaving the striker one on one with your goalkeeper. So Oscar Bob, I don't know why Oscar Bob was very very good in terms of that one on one defense, that one on one driving into the box, but he is hesitant. Nico G is hesitant making long balls. Oscar Bob is hesitant driving and making those runs. What is happening with City? No one is making near post runs. What the hell is happening? Shubhankar says Nouri is lacking game sharpness but is good as left back. I think that was not Aitnouri's mistake, Shubhankar. That was not Aitnouri's mistake. He showed him on the outside, he behaved maturely there. Showed him on the outside and that was good. I know at least 5, 6 left backs out of 10 who would give up a penalty in that instance or show the forward inside. So Nouri did well. That goal I actually blame on probably Nico G maybe not picking up the runner because you cannot at this level effort to give someone so much space and time from outside the box. Nathan Ake, Kushano, again back to Ake. Atnaur is 100% very good, but I think, but I only think Nico Riley is the better of the two, at least till now. But yeah, attacking wise, Atnaur is much better. Oscar Bob does extremely well. That is very good from Oscar Bob, and we need to score over here. And it hit the post, guys. How unlucky can we be, guys? What the fuck was that? I thought that was in. I thought that was in. That was excellent from Oscar Bob. क्या हो रहा था? What was happening there भाई लोग? What was happening there? क्या था ये? उनको पोस्ट को लग के अंदर जाता है, and when we hit the post it goes outside or into the goalkeeper's hands. डेस्टिनी भी कितना कितना देगी यार, कितना काट लेगी हमारी डेस्टिनी, कितने पत्ते काट लेगी हमारी डेस्टिनी. कम ऑन, कुछ तो, I mean, just have some mercy on us. Luck, destiny, whatever you want to call it. I mean, what was that, mate? What was that, guys? Shivankar, what was that? Vayaji, what was... just cannot believe it again. Ah, what the fuck happened there? Ryan Sherky's play, I mean, everyone's played well today except those defenders and Nico G. They're showing the replay again, and I think it was Ryan Sherky with the shot. What a finish! That was an outstanding finish from Ryan Sherky. And Atuli is here. He says, hi, hey mate, how are you doing? That's a good ball. Right, Jeremy Doku has to reach it. Jeremy Doku reaches it. Jeremy Doku keeps it in play, which is very good. And it goes in. And it goes in. पता नहीं कैसे अंदर गया. Just do not know how it went in. What the hell? Come on, City. What? I don't care how that went in. I don't give a fuck how that went in. The important point there is it went in. This is what each one of us were telling. Have courage, go and drive, make those near post ones, get into the positions, dribble. You saw what happened. Oscar Bob dribbled, ball hit the post. Jeremy Doku went in, showed courage, tried to put it across the box, went in for a shot, and it deflected. Don't care if it was deflection, whatever it is. That is the result of the courage shown there by Jeremy Doku. 1-0 City, yes. Bayaji says, "आ गया." Woo! Finally, come on, City. Woo! But Bayaji, guys, that finish by Ryan Sherky. I know it didn't go into the goal, but what a flick that was! What a flick that was! Wow, this guy is absolutely much more talented than Florian Wirtz. Much more talented than Florian Wirtz. Please defend well. That's a foul. That's a foul in City's favour. Please defend well. And MS the goal. Let's not forget the save by James Trafford. That save by James Trafford was just outstanding. We are playing with a bit more courage now. Just look at it. Nico Gonzalez just trying to pick the ball, long balls. Come on, Nico. I mean, with Nico Gonzalez, there's a switch on. There's a switch on to the left-hand side. There's a switch on to the right-hand side. That was a slip there by. That was a slip there by Kushyanov, and it's fine. Accidental slip, but yes, it was an accidental slip. But finally, I think there is rhythm. You can see there's considerable improvement there. There is rhythm. And yeah, Itnaur is gradually grown into the game. Do not have any defensive problem with Itnauri. Again on the goal, he did well. That is Ryan Sharkey. Omar Marmoush has to play in Jeremy Doku probably. I think he has to give it to Ryan Sharkey. Ryan Sharkey, can he take a shot from outside the box? Oscar Bob, find Ryan. Ryan Sharkey is free at the outside the box. Again a lovely ball from Ryan Sharkey. Excellent ball from Ryan Sharkey. Wow. I mean the nature of the balls, the kind of the balls Sharkey is giving. Wow, मजा आ गया. आज तो मजा आ रहा है Ryan Sharkey show. आज तो मजा आ रहा है. Wow. This is a superb display from Sharky. He's making runs, he's giving those passes. Gonzalez does well. Gonzalez does very well. The flick on didn't work. Shivankar says Sharky is the soul of our attack. Shubhankar, what they did was there's an article in the Athletic, and they described that City's coaching staff this season. They did a data analysis comparing Kevin De Bruyne's positions with Ryan Sharkey's positions, and they say there's a 97% similarity in terms of their movement, in terms of their again. Wow. I think this was David Makasa. There was it Marmoush, actually it was Marmoush, I think. It is Mamouche. Again, good play. Again, we should have scored a goal there. Again, no one attacking the far post. But yeah, so in the data analysis test, they found that almost 90 to 95% of it was very, very similar to what De Bruyne was doing, with the way Ryan Sherky takes his shots, how he moves. Again, superb. This is outstanding play from City. 1-2 sharpness. Marmoush, Mukasa, Sharky. They're just not able to live with Ryan Sharky here. Absolutely brilliant. मजा आ रहा है आज तो. Shubhankar says I read that too, and I mean after reading that, I just sat there silently for a few minutes, and I was thinking, wow, we got this. And then they compared that data with all the players in the world as well. Even Words was not coming that close, to be honest. Words was also not coming that close. So again, who the fuck is that? Who gave the ball to the Swansea player? I'm watching on this fan code app and the screen doesn't become big. I don't know why. So I'm facing a little bit difficulty in, just identifying who the player was so early on. I don't know why the screen is not maximizing. It's just so small. So when Florian Wirtz was not matching it, apparently it was just Ryan Sharkey who came the closest. So I was just wondering, 140 million versus 30 million. Wow, this has to be the steal of a decade. I think we'll do a channel, we'll do a video on this channel shortly stating the 100 million pound cam that City got for 30 million. No, the 140 million pound cam that City got for 30 million. Why this says who is quicker in transition, KDB or Sherky? I mean KDB's pace is very much underrated by G, but I haven't checked Sherky's top speed probably, but I just think that I just think there are two I think there are two things to this story. I think in transition and pure running, I think KDB is faster. KDB speed was so underrated. KDB on the break is much faster. But then I think with Sharky, when Sharky dribbles and get past the player, that initial burst, that is where I think Sharky is much, much quicker. Because when you see some of his clips playing for Lyon from on the wing, especially you'll see that he has that initial burst of pace, 1-2. So I think both are quicker in their own ways. I think initial burst Cherky, but overall breaking, running with the ball, I think it's Kevin De Bruyne. Oscar Bob. Jeremy Doku almost did well there, but can we have one last attack before the break? Why just 2 to 3 times unnecessary touches on layup from outside the box. Exactly. They could have shot it first time. Why just Palace banking pool? Wow. After this half, we'll just see. But I think there was a ball from Doku Aitnauri, but it's one final attack, one final attack. Ryan Aitnauri, one final attack. I thought they'll score. I thought they'll score. Palace banking pool. It's very interesting, Bayaji, with respect to Liverpool, because you look at, I mean, before this game as well, I mean, before the Brentford game as well, uh, Liverpool had this schedule: Brentford, Palace, Real Madrid, and us. Everyone thought Brentford and Palace were the easier of the two. Compared to the next two fixtures, Brentford spanked them. Yes, Brentford spanked them. Now Palace is spanking them. And then the next match is Real Madrid. I think one of the most informed teams in the world right now in terms of form. I think they're better than PSG in a way. I think are equal to PSG. So I think they have Real Madrid, and then they come to the Etihad. Will Slot be in his job? Can can Pep put Slot out of his job? That will be something very interesting. But I'll just check the score once. What are the scores? What are the scores? Let's just actually check. Website's very slow, but I'll just check what is the score. I'll just try. I'll just. I don't know what's the score, Bayaji. What's the score? Palace versus Liverpool. What's the score? My net is a bit slow. I think since I'm streaming in something, but interesting. Possession 73% for City. Total shots 9. I mean, I don't know. I don't care what the fuck was, but Swansea dominated us for 35 minutes. That's what I care about. And and then we grew into it in the last 10 minutes. Ryan Sherky was just outstanding. He was immaculate. Vaiji says last season they sang about Pep getting sacked. This season it will be our turn. how, how, I mean, actually, Bayaji, Slot is a very lucky man. Slot is an absolutely lucky man. First match against Bournemouth, they should have lost. They scammed that result against Newcastle. I mean, 10 men Newcastle came down from 2-0 to 2-2, and if they were 11 men, they would have beaten Liverpool. Liverpool should have lost that. They scammed that result. Burnley against Burnley, it was nil-nil. They got a lucky handball in the last minute, and they scammed that result as well. So honestly, just imagine Slot with 8 points, with 10 points less. I think that is relegation form. I think Slot would be bottom fourth or fifth. That is absolute relegation form. They scammed the Arsenal result. Mikel Arteta could have won the title by now if he was a little bit brave and went out for it at Anfield. They supposedly helped them with that result. So imagine Arne Slot being 10 points less from where they are. That is barely the form of Wolves. I think Wolves are having 5 points, and if you deduct 5 points, if you deduct the form of Liverpool, 10 points from their current tally, I think they are relegation form. They have been absolutely lucky. They've been absolutely lucky. Champions League, Atletico Madrid, they went 2-0 up. Madrid came back 2-2 and they scammed a goal there again. Frankfurt was maybe the only result that they did well. Shubhankar says 2-0 Palace. Why this is 2-0? Ismail sir, every club looting slot machine. When will we loot, Bayaji? When will we loot? Every club was looting Villa machine. We just could not. But I just think we need to take advantage of that in a fixture at the Etihad as well. But I mean, Real Madrid will destroy them. I think Real Madrid will absolutely destroy them. I think Real Madrid will absolutely destroy them. That's what I don't understand, guys. Because you look at the record of Dutch managers in this league. Ronald Koeman was given a 200 million pound transfer window, flop. Frank de Boer, flop. Eric Ten Hag, United spent half a billion on him, flop. Now Arne Slot. Has there been one good Dutch manager who succeeded? Louis van Gaal at United, flop. He was given 300 million, flop. There hasn't been one Dutch manager who's been given a transfer window. People will tell he won the cup, but you and I would have won the cup with that team because that Klopp's team and not Slock's. They're showing the first goal. Let me observe it and see whose mistake was it. Whose mistake do you think was it, guys? So the first goal, because for me, I now read it well. He showed him on the outside. That is okay. That is not the bad thing to do. And I think Kushanow takes over zonal marking. Even that is fine. Once He leaves right now. Kusanov goes into the box, and then Nico Gonzalez. I think it was Nico Gonzalez should have marked the man. Nico Gonzalez. Nico Gonzalez should have marked the man. Nico Gonzalez should have marked the man, guys. That was on Nico Gonzalez there. Not good man marking from him. Shubhankar says if we didn't have that many injuries, we would have won it five in a row. I think Shubhankar, honestly, doing four in a row itself was a miracle because I think what four in a row cost us is what happened last season and this season. Honestly, what should have happened is after three in a row, especially after that treble season, after such an euphoria, generally what happens is, I mean, generally you look at what happened Inter Milan, treble, Barcelona winning all of that, sextuple under Pep and everything. Generally, after such a euphoria, the squad generally resets. So you send a lot of players out, new blood comes in. The next season is a write off because since you won three in a row, treble, whatever, fans accept the next season as a write off and you use that next season to rebuild. And then you come back to be good in the subsequent season, uh, which was the previous season, or in the worst case, you would have been ready this season for the title. But what happened was, Pep even said that. Pep said that that was a call we needed to take. That if we had to win four in a row, we needed to keep these guys together because new guys coming in with the competition we have from Arsenal and all, we cannot win four in a row. So the entire board decided that four in a row is a chance that probably we might never see anyone do it in a lifetime, especially in these schedules and all in modern football. So Pep said that we decided to delay our transfer progression plans by one season so that we can go for it. So I think so that's what I say to fans. We all enjoyed four in a row. That record has surpassed even the treble because treble we and United both own it, but four in a row we are the exclusive entrance in that club. So when you have enjoyed that four in a row season, we need to support the club. We needed to support the club through last season and this season as well. Because honestly, this season is a rebuild, guys. So that was a decision. You go for four in a row, and that four in a row season we won by 1 point. Remember, Foden drove us to the title. So that was a chance we took, and I think whenever fans criticize this season, I just tell them, yes, you're right, but the four in a row season happened, and that's why we are one season behind the rebuild. That's the only thing. Bayaj's midfield not tracking Swansea scorer. Always DM job. Exactly, Bayaj. That's what exactly. Nico Gonzalez somehow. I think Nico Gonzalez. I mean, Aitnauri, he showed him on the outside, and that is okay. And then he went in, and Nico Gonzalez went to that man, and the winger passed it. But honestly, I think maybe you want a Jeremy Doku in there, providing defensive cover to Aitnauri, and then what happens is I think Nico Gonzalez actually uh, goes on to the man who scored the goal. I think since Doku didn't come back for defensive cover, or none of the midfield players helped, like you said. Nico Gonzalez was caught in a 2v1 situation. Because of Nico Gonzalez, I think if he went to the man who scored the goal, I think the pass would never have happened. Since Nico Gonzalez went to the winger who dribbled Aitnauri, the winger passed. So I think Nico Gonzalez was in a 2v1 situation. And so just seeing the replay, I think even it's not a blame on Nico as well. I think Doku needs to track back better. Maybe if the transition was, I don't know, but Doku needs to pass back, sorry, track back much better. That's what I would say. Shubhankar says our recruiting has been so shit. It came up and bit us. I think Shubhankar again. I think what a lot of people. I think Shubhankar, what a lot of people actually miss is, yes, our recruiting has been set in terms that fans are unhappy. We have had that discussion on this community a lot as well because fans are unhappy that we have not bought ready-made players like a Rodrigo was available, like you could have bought wingers like excuse me, Olise, Or some say Quatskelia was available wide from Napoli in the winter transfer window. Why didn't you go for him? Yes, people say yes, we did not bring in ready-made players. That's true. But then again, I think what the board again, this is a decision from the board. I think the board had two choices here. I think the board could either have thought, yes, we will bring ready-made players, or do we build for the future, sacrificing a season? So that we'll have a decade of dominance, 2017 to 2024-25, almost a decade. And we want a decade of dominance. That's why you look at the profile of players City went for. Victor Ruiz, 19 years, one of the best young talents after Thiago Silva to come out of Brazil. Juma Ba, one of the best young talents to come out of Sierra Leone. Story is very, very good. And I watch him see, and I'm confident he's the next Virgil van Dijk. He's said to be one of the best defenders in the league if given the chance. Jumaba is outstanding physicality, pace, power, passing. He has everything literally. He's the next Van Dijk, that's what he could say. Kushano, very, very young again. Look at the profile we have gone for. Ryan Aitnauri, slightly an experienced one, so I'll not bring Aitnauri in there. But when you're Max Align is still there, who I expect to come back. Swer Nipan, we competed hard with Arsenal and got him at the last moment. He will come back and make us a much much better player. So we actually look at the profile that we have actually gone for. Nico Gonzalez, 23 years. Again, you could have easily bought a good DMN. Nico Gonzalez, work in progress. So promoting Mukasa into the squad. So it's interesting. Again, that's a choice, I think, and due to the choice which the board made, I actually think it's taking the rebuild is taking what 2 years. I mean, last season was shit. We bought them in last January transfer window. So I think this season and probably by the end of this season and from next season or probably the next season, I think we'll be ready. I think maybe one to two seasons it might take, and then we'll be ready for it. We'll be set for another decade when these players just get in. So I think again that's a decision. Now fans, few of them are against it and few of them are for it. But when you look at the profile of the players, I think not Bernardo Silva will of course leave, but the major spine of the team right now we are building it to be around 25, 26. The average age is 24, I think. Donnarumma 26, Haaland 24, 25, Nico G 23. Yes, Rodri is 30, but I'm telling you the players who are coming in for the next phase. Gonzalez 23, I'm talking about the centre backs. Reinders slightly, I think around 27. But apart from Reinders, everyone's average age is 23. So interesting how we are building I think it's we need to be a bit patient with our club. That's it. Subankar says selling Julian without signing a replacement. Not a single deputy for Rodri and keeping hold of declining players like Walker. Those are the mistakes, Subankar. I absolutely agree with you. Those are the mistakes. I'm not gonna back the board on all of the mistakes you have told, especially with Rodri, because that season before Rodri got injured, we were on this run winning five in a row and something, and Nottingham Forest match, and Rodri was taken off, I think red card, and the match and 2 3 matches after that, we were doing shit all. We were absolutely doing nothing. I think that was a wake up call. Rodri himself told in interviews that I maybe cannot play every match. That was on the board and keeping hold of Walker as well. Apparently that was Pep's decision, but I will not understand not signing Pedro Porro as well. I don't know. So because we had the first right of refusal on Pedro Porro, he was our player who we sold to that Portuguese club. So yeah, I won't understand those decisions. But I think Julian Alvarez thing is interesting because whenever people tell me not signed a replacement for Julian Alvarez. I think Omar Marmoush is a like-to-like replacement for Julian Alvarez in many assets. Alvarez excellent free kick taker, Marmoush excellent free kick taker. The runs that Marmoush makes, the finishing of Omar Marmoush, the free kicks like I discussed which Marmoush takes, the way Marmoush drives on the counter, and Alvarez best position for me, even if you've seen that Atletico is not an out and out striker, it's almost dropping deep making those runs. Marmoush does the same thing. I think we have almost got a replica of Julian Alvarez and Omar Marmoush. So, and we got good money as well. We made good profit, got Omar Marmoush. So, I'm not as disappointed with that. And honestly, I think More than Julian Alvarez, Marmoush fits our system much much better because Marmoush can cut in off the left as well, which Alvarez cannot. The Pep tried to play Alvarez in the midfield, but it was not quite working. So I think it was best for what happened in the deal for was best for all of the parties, Alvarez, Marmoush, and all of them. So I'm not disappointed with. Of course, I am with Alvarez leaving, but okay, we got a good enough replacement. Bayaji says no more project or work in progress players for the next 3 winters. It's over, Bayaji. Buying the squad, I think we're not gonna buy any work in progress players. These are the players who we will work on for the next decade, next 10 years. That's what I'm telling. Zubankar says I'm saying about post four in a row recruitments. Uh, I think it had a consequence. I think it had a consequence. Shubhankar, since we didn't buy, and then yeah you're right. Yeah you're right. I think post four in a row. I think we should have just taken off all of the senior players and then we could have just had a new clean slate. I understand. That was shit. That was shit. Yes. That four in a row season was not shit, but last season was shit. Otherwise, this season would have been last season where we could have recruited well and built it on. And this season, probably we could have been ready. Yes. That one window put us back by 1 year. Yes, you're true. You're right. You're right. Why says Nuno Mendes and Joao never both were available, but Tixiki penny pinched. Never both were available, but Tixiki penny pinched. Or maybe Pep didn't rate them. Nuno Mendes, I don't know, Bayaji. I don't rate Nuno Mendes defensively as much. I don't think Nuno Mendes is that good of a defender. He's excellent going forward, but maybe he has improved a bit at PSG. But I don't think I've never rated Nuno Mendes defensively. Yes, he did well against Salah, but Salah was shit if you remember in the second half of that season. So I don't rate Nuno Mendes as much because Saka absolutely toyed with him. I think both Aitnauri and Nico Riley are better defensively than Nuno Mendes, and I think offensively as well, I think Aitnauri is better than Nuno Mendes. So, I don't know, but Joao Neves, yes. Joao Neves, what a player. We should have got him. We should have got him, I think. Instead of Tejani, I know if we got Joao Neves, we would not have signed Tejani Reinders and Neves can play box to box. Sorry, CDM as well. So, yeah. Joao Neves, I do agree, but Nuno Mendes, again, I don't rate him as much. JSK says Haaland was really missing Sharky. I mean, the passes JSK from Sharky were outstanding. If you just saw them, they were just out of this world. We were actually, in fact, discussing about that Sharky's passes. Baija says Pep doesn't start Sharky because he looks for a forward pass. That Aston Villa match by Aji was so boring. No one looked for a forward pass. I swear. JSK is talking about Alvarez. We're very sure Alvarez will. Yes. All of us were very sure. All of us were very sure. JSK. I think most of us were sure. In fact, I'll put my hands up and say I was sure that Alvarez will stay forever in Haaland because of the way Haaland moved between clubs. You know, from Norway to Salzburg to. Uh, Dortmund to City. So he just thought Haaland probably wanted 3 4 year projects in various leagues. Ryan Sharkey, almost wow. What a player, Ryan Sharkey, wow. Wow, almost that is fantastic even go from Ryan Sharkey. Wow, outstanding. That is outstanding from Ryan Sharkey there. I'll put my hands up and say I thought Alvarez will stay. Anyway, but again, JSK, I think Alvarez left because it became apparent Haaland was staying, and then the fans of City. I mean, I think the way the fans of City adore Haaland, I don't think Haaland has found that love anywhere because after the Arsenal match, Haaland went over to the away support, and which means our support, obviously, our fans, and they actually hugged him and they did all of that. That just made me emotional seeing that. Wow, can a player get this much? In long time I've seen a player. I mean, yes, KDB's got that and all, but I think the what people miss here is the way we fans adore Erling Haaland. He just absolutely feels loved in here. And he will not get that love anywhere in Madrid, Barca, anywhere. I think he knows that. JSK's Nuno Mendes was the first one to humble Yamal. He was, but Saka absolutely destroyed him. Saka absolutely destroyed him, JSK. Saka absolutely destroyed him against Arsenal. Donnarumma saved PSG that day. So, and defensively, Nuno Mendes always, I don't know, at least what I have seen is not, on his day, he maybe can be good, but generally, he's not that solid. For me, right now in the world, if I have to, JSK is not me. I predicted it will happen. Yes, I mean, hands off, because I predicted at least, I didn't predict that. I actually predicted that Haaland would leave, but never wanted Haaland to leave secretly. But that is superb there from Ryan Aitnauri. Ah, no one again attacking the box. Wow, Ryan Aitnauri, superb there, outstanding. That is outstanding there from Ryan Aitnauri. Wow. City are in the gear, but we need to get that second goal. But for me, defensively, one of the best left backs right now is also Nico O'Reilly. I mean, the way he defended against Saka, Madueke, all of the big wingers, that was just outstanding. Nico O'Reilly has absolutely been fantastic. Defensively, just so assured. Haven't seen a left back so assured defensively. Maybe I think Robertson was very good, but apart from that, Nico O'Reilly was just outstanding. Natanake with the ball. Kusanov, just pass it forward faster, faster, guys. Ryan Sharkey has to pass it wide. Jeremy Doku has to give it back to Sharkey. Sharkey receives it. Again, good shot. He's just so aggressive, Ryan Sharkey. Jeremy Doku can get to the ball again. Doku, there's Aitnauri available on the outside now. There is Aitnauri available. He finds Aitnauri. Sharkey is an option. He gives it to Sharkey. Aitnauri tries to make the run. This Mukasa does very. I think was it Marmoush or was it Mukasa? It's Marmoush actually. Marmoush does very well, but I think Sharkey was expecting a 1-2 over there. Sharkey was expecting a 1-2 over there. We have been very aggressive attacking wise in this half. Need to be just be careful of the Swansea City counter, especially that switch from one wing to the other. That is, I don't know, that is just so dangerous. I mean, it's interesting the patterns. Against Monaco we struggled, Villa we struggled. Here we have struggled with Swansea with the same thing, that switch out to our fullbacks, and our fullbacks are inverted, and right right now, Jeremy Doku. Doku can it that is excellent from Doku. Goes on the inside. I think there is right now. There's right now there, but Doku has the ball. Doku has the ball. That is fantastic from Doku. He somehow gets it. Good ball by Doku. Why is no one bloody attacking it? Why is no one attacking it? What the lovely ball. Sharky in the first half. Right now. Doku now. Why is no one attacking it? Miss the days of Sterling and Sané, especially Sterling when he used to just go and attack it. Miss all those days. I mean, good half, I would say. It's only been 7 minutes, but it just seems like it's been an eternity in this half. This is very good. That is wonderful from Reinhard Nauri there. That is excellent from Reinhard Nauri there. Superb dribbling. But Swansea somehow go away with the ball. It's their right winger again. Do not let Swansea score again. That will be a bloody uphill task. Do not let Swansea score again. That's good defending. That's good defending. Positioning is good. And now Omar Marmoush just could not get the ball into his touch. He would be. And Omar Marmoush is one of the best players on the counter attack in the world. The way he counter attacked at Frankfurt was just outstanding. But again, that switch to the wings is always on. That switch to the wings is always on. It's just 1-1. It's not 2-1 City or something. So we need to score that second goal as fast as possible. At Nauri, that dribble from Ait Nauri there was just outstanding. I think we're a tad bit slow on the ball today, especially bringing it out. But Swansea are blocking well. Swansea are blocking well, but Oscar Bob does very well to get the ball back. Nico Gonzalez again, good defending. Ryan Sherky in the box. Just cannot do anything to Ryan Sherky, to be honest. Jeremy Doku is just going into the box so effortlessly there. Ryan Sherky. Ryan Sherky again. He is it's just a one man show that is going on, especially with Ryan Sherky there. Well done, Trafford. The bounce was just awkward in there. Sherky is just not leaving the ball. He is just so outstanding. Ryan Aitnauri, the dribbling of Aitnauri, Sherky, Doku. I mean, we have some excellent dribblers in the team, whatever you might say about the other players, but Oscar Bob has to give it to Sherky. Oscar Bob, two players on him. This is the fullback not overlapping, but maybe I think Pep cares more about preventing counters. I don't know. That's why it doesn't overlap. That's the best explanation. But Oscar Bob again, they're just closing down Oscar Bob. This is Manchester City all over knocking on the door of Swansea. We just need to be wary of the counter attack which Swansea are looking for. Right now, Natanake just pass the ball faster. I think, especially with the centre backs. I think what we are also missing is maybe a penetrating centre back. A centre back who plays those penetrative passes. A Guardiola, John Stones, both of them can do that. Maybe even a Diaz can do that. I think neither of Ake or Koshanov can actually do that. That is something which is allowing Swansea to defend more on the front foot. Because otherwise, you will not leave your centre backs with the ball. Uh, Swansea are pressing aggressively. And we have got the ball. And yeah, Ryan Sharkey with the ball. That was a good tackle there on our right hand side by Rico Lewis. Ryan Sharkey does extremely well. That is superb there. I mean, Ryan Sharkey is just mesmerizing. He's just moving through the gears. I think it's an injury to a Swansea player, but it's all City. I don't think Swansea even has 5% of possession right now. It's all Manchester City. Swansea are preparing for some subs, but uh, it's been a good ride. I mean, first 35 minutes were not good, but this has been a good ride. I think the only thing is Oscar Bob making those far post runs. That's the only thing I would say. Otherwise, we should have at least been four goals up easily. If someone just had a little bit of sense to make those far post runs. But we're almost on the hour mark, so it'll be interesting. It'll be interesting the subs that Pep brings on, to be honest. Whose free kick is it? I know the Swansea player was injured, but I just missed. Whose free kick is it? I think it's a drop ball, to be honest. Rico Lewis contesting the drop ball. Nico Gonzalez, righto, we move on. Plays resume. Nathan Ake, Nico Gonzalez, Reven Mukasad as well. Right now, who's tucked in. Askabab. I think we have to utilize right now, overlapping. There's no use utilizing right now, tacking into that midfield. किसी को use नहीं है. Putting right now in there. They're trying to lure Swansea into the press, and then the ball comes. Oscar Bob's touch is immaculate as usual. He drags two defenders along with him. This is excellent there. Oscar Bob. Jeremy Doku has to pass it. That was a chance. Who is it who skied it? It's Aitnauri. That was a chance. By Aitnauri standards, that was an easy chance, mate. That was a bloody easy chance by Aitnauri standards. Ah, Aitnauri. That was an easy chance by Aitnauri standards. Remember, it's just 1-1. It's not 2-1 or something. City substitutions in there. Foden comes in. John Stones comes in. I hope he doesn't take out Ryan Sherky. And Stones is needed. Stones is needed. Yes, I was critical of Stones in the Villa game, but where and how he was deployed, that's it. Moving into the midfield. I love Stones, but that's a free kick for City. Well done. I think that's excellent defending there. Again from Ryan Nauri. Right now he's been sharp defensively. Like Shubhankar pointed out earlier, right now he's been very, very sharp defensively. And that one goal again, having looked back at it, I think we discussed it a lot. It's not right now. Yes, Guardiol. This is interesting. Guardiol comes in, Stones comes in, Muka Foden comes in, Mukasa is off. Very sure Kushanov is off because he's just returning from injury, and Ake is off. Or is it that Stones is going into right back position? I don't know. Uh, is playing Guardiola at left back. Not O'Reilly. This is interesting. Enrico Lewis is on. Interesting. This combination is interesting. Not the back four, which I hate. Guardiola at left back is I don't know what Pep's thinking. Taking Aitnauri off. Real Adgami is here. He says hello, hello buddy. How are you doing? And Real Adgami. That means do you support Real Madrid or are you an Adgami fan or do you support Dortmund? Couple of clarifications. Maybe I think you support Adgami to come to Real Madrid. That's what I can understand from your name, but anyways, I think I'm not a big fan of Josko Guardiola being left back. Yes, right now is coming back from injury, but no, don't know. But Sharky and Ford and Mukasa's had a decent game. He's not. He's made some decent runs. He's growing into that role. He's at a 7 out of 10 game, to be honest. Nothing sparkling. Average performance. He did his job well. That's what you want to do as a youngster, and you will sparkle at moments. Every day you'll not sparkle because you're still learning. An 18-year-old, but he's done well. He's not looked out of place once playing with Sharky. I mean, responding to the movements of Sharky positionally, Mukasa has been outstanding. Did not look out of place even once. In fact, positionally, he looked better than Florian Wirtz. Reality, I says I'm a Dortmund fan and a Man City fan. I got the first part right, Reality, and the second part, I got it wrong. Reality, so a Real Madrid hater. I know a Real Madrid hater. John Stones. Ah, register yours, Nico Gonzalez. In fact, register yourself for the upcoming IPL auction, Nico Gonzalez. I think it's a second or third time, probably in the last two matches, when he's had great chance to shoot and is done fuck all from that range. Difficult range to score from. I wonder why he took a shot from there. I wonder why he took a shot from there. It's a free kick to City, but we need to score the second goal, guys. The more Newcastle winning 2-0 against Spurs. Interesting. Nick Waltemade cannot stop scoring, and Alexander Isak cannot start scoring. Tale of two strikers. Phil Foden's shot was blocked over there. Real Adami says, "Do you still think we could win the Premier League?" I mean, honestly, Ademi, the thing is, we have. I mean, for me, we have actually discussed this on this community that. I mean, I've asked people to say what does success mean for City in this season, and I think, including me, I'll say what I think, and most of you agree with it. For me, success is one of the cups, domestic cups, be it FA Cup or Carabao Cup, win one of the cups, semi-finals of the Champions League, finish in finish in the top two in the Premier League. I think that is success according to me. This for me this is a rebuilding season, and I just don't think we can win the Premier League. I know the Premier League is shit. Had Arsenal not been playing like this, I think we still could win the league. If Arsenal was not playing like this, we could still win the league. I think this is one of the most one-sided Premier League seasons ever. I think because no one seems to compete with Arsenal because no one actually seems to compete with Arsenal. So I mean, you see the top six teams. I think United is in, we and United are tied fifth and sixth, and all the other top six teams, including Chelsea, Spurs, Newcastle, are all in the bottom half of the table, almost the bottom half of the table. So for me, I think this season for me, I do not think we could win the Premier League, because if we were at full tilt, we could win this Premier League. We could claw back even 7 points from Arsenal, but we are rebuilding. The squad does not have the experience of Kevin De Bruyne still. Erling Haaland, you could say, but he's still, but Haaland's still young, he's still learning. So Bernardo Silva is not his own self. All of those veterans who carried us to the title are just not there anymore. So we are rebuilding, because winning a title, it does not. I mean, how many titles have we won by being 6, 7 points behind the team? Liverpool, we were 7 points behind on January the 15th, even after defeating them. 18-19 season. Arsenal, we were 7 points behind, I think, 2 seasons back. Last season before, we were, I think, 6, 7 points behind Arsenal easily going into your February. It's possible, but this season I just don't think the squad has a lot of young players who are just adapting and coming in. So I just think that's the only reason it's a rebuilding phase. Nothing more. Real Adiami says, I think we could win the UCL but not the Prem. I don't think Arsenal will drop many points. I think Real Adiami, it will be very interesting to see if someone pushes Arsenal, because if someone pushes them, even if someone pushes them close, like someone are on their coattails just driving at them, I think Arsenal could lose this league, because they do not have the expertise. And when you push a team like Arsenal, who do not seem to score open play goals, how many games will you score those set piece goals time and again? There will be some games where the set piece goals simply don't go in. Just a matter of time when the law of averages catch up. I don't think you can just scam a season by scoring just 4 or 5 outfield goals the entire season and doing all set piece goals. I just don't think that's possible. Excellent from Nico Gonzalez, Oscar Bob. And so I just think unless someone pushes Arsenal are going to win the league. If we go on to push them, which I don't think will happen, if we go on to push them, then I think then it will be interesting to see how Arsenal respond, because you must remember they have not won a title in so long. The jitters will be there. Why this is everyone's ass in front of goal. Haaland carrying us this season. I think except Haaland and Sharky. Haaland, I think Sharky has looked decent in front of goal, to be honest. But Bayaji, the worst thing is no one's making those far post runs. Aitnauri put a great ball across in this half. Sharky put a great ball across. No one absolutely is doing anything. No one is absolutely doing anything. I mean, by just simply, if someone would have made far post runs, he could have grabbed a hat trick in this game. So many great balls. The passing, everything is very, very good. I don't know why we are not making those far post runs. Why this is Mancini and Pellegrini also won their PL titles, bridging the gap of 8 and 5 points. But I doubt the current squad has the mentality. Exactly, Bayaji. April. Bayaji, April. I think it was mid-April when we faced Man United in that 11-12 season, Aguero moment season. I think we were what United were 8 points ahead of us going into that game, and still we were in mid-April, and United at that stage were winning title after the title, had your Rooneys and everyone, and everyone, so many experienced players, Barbatos and also it's possible, but just the mentality, I think. Ah, that's fantastic there from Marmos, and that's a corner for City. We are really pushing Swansea. They're holding on one goal by Aji, one goal. Real Ademi says, gotta go. We'll definitely join the other watch alongs. Glad, Real Ademi, that you're enjoying it. You're always welcome on the community party. Have a good night. Again, Bayaji, one goal, Bayaji, and Swansea will open up. And also Bayaji, I think another thing is there. both Ake and Kusanov have been ass as well in this match because they have not played a single penetrative pass. Because you have two Swansea players almost pressing our centre backs, and if they could have played one penetrative pass, you literally take two, three players out with that one pass. It will make it much easier for your midfield and forward line. So I think centre backs have been a letdown. Nico Gonzalez. Wow, Wolves 2, Chelsea 3. Wow, I just saw Wolves nil, Chelsea 2, and now Wolves 2, Chelsea 3. Wow. Josko Guardiol, Jeremy Doku, Jeremy Doku again. That is excellent there from Jeremy Doku. Just can't seem to get through this low block. Come on, guys. Jeremy Doku again. We have Swansea. We have every one of them pinned in air. Ryan Sherky should. Ah, almost. But Marmos, the shot was straight at the keeper. Baija says Doku always takes extra touch in the box before taking the shot. Swansea are still looking for the counters. The match is still not over. The match is still not over. It's a Swansea City free kick. Ah! We need to break this low block. If someone can make a near post one, that's it. I think we are going to need something special from some player to actually make this to crack the Swansea defense open. They've been so good. It's a free kick in a decently dangerous position for Swansea. I think Trafford needs to claim it. Trafford's been very good. It's prevented a sure goal for us. Doku does well. Doku does extremely well. Doku does extremely well. Foden, Nico Gonzalez. The Swansea players are just crossing us very fast. Nico Gonzalez, Oscar Bob, Natanake, Oscar Bob again. I mean, we are just trying everything that we can do to break over this low block. We have all the tools. Foden, Sherky should be enough to break open this block. Don't want to hear the excuse that Haaland wasn't there for a Swansea game. Come on, mate. And City score! Woo! What a goal that is! What a goal! Omar Marmoush! Omar Marmoush with the finish! मास महाराजा ओमर मरमूश वाह वाह जी क्या नाम है मास महाराजा मरमूश मास महाराजा ओमर मरमूश come on City come on woo again that was excellent from City there. I mean, who made that final pass? That was an outstanding pass. I don't know who made that final pass. Ryan Sharkey. Ryan Sharkey. Yes, it's Ryan Sharkey. Nico Gonzalez. Ryan Sharkey with the pass. This is a jump. This is a jump. This is a jump. Bayaji, this is a jump. Who we have got is a jump. Ryan Sharkey. It's almost a no-look pass. You just see that was almost a no-look pass. He nonchalantly passed it. It's a crime not starting. It is a crime by Aji not starting Ryan Sherky from now on in every match. Ryan Sherky has been outstanding. He has been absolutely outstanding. He should have had an assist, hat trick of assists in this match. He has been absolutely outstanding, Ryan Sherky in this match. Wow. I think Ryan Sharkey is the 200 million pound cam we got for 30 million pounds. He's a 200 million pound cam we got for 30 million pounds. There's no one today who will disagree with me. I mean, the way he moves. I mean, you just compare Florian Wirtz and Ryan Cherki, Vayaji. Florian Wirtz always seems to take extra time on the ball. How many times have you seen Ryan Cherki being tackled in this match? How many times have you seen Ryan Cherki get dispossessed of the ball because he's holding the ball too long? None. None. Wow, what a player we have got. What a player we have got. And also, I think generally the players from the French league have tended to perform better. I think I think the players from Bundesliga, sorry, from the French league. Though people say French league is a farmers league and all, but I think the players from the French league have generally tended to be physically very good than the players from the Bundesliga in adapting to the Premier League. Of course, City is an exception. Gundogan, Akanji, Kompany, De Bruyne, they've all come from the Bundesliga. But apart from City, our recruitment is excellent. Apart from City, you look at all of the other teams. Apart from City, you look at all of the other teams, Timo Werner, Mkhitaryan, Sancho, look at all the teams. Now Florian Wirtz, you look at all the teams recruiting players. Offside. From the Bundesliga, I mean, maybe Kevin Schade has been a bit better, but generally I think players from Bundesliga have not tend to perform well in the Premier League. You look at the players from the French League, Riyad Mahrez, I think N'Golo Kante was got from there. Was Eden Hazard from the French league? I don't know, but I think Sanchez played there as well. I think some of the top players have come from the French league. People tend to dismiss it as a farmers league, but the physicality in the French league generally tends to be outstanding. I would in fact call the Bundesliga a bit of a farmers league. No disrespect to anyone, but yeah. Bayaji says Sharky should have been bought on at half time versus Villa. May, Maybe yes, he should. Yes. Swansea are on an attack now. Defend. Don't allow the winger to go on the outside. Don't allow him to cut him on the inside. Very well done, and it's a corner which we have to defend. It's a corner which we have to defend. Yes, he should have obviously been bought in at half time. Now Pep will use the excuse of injury. So excuse that maybe he's managing Sherky's fitness well and he does not want Sherky to get injured. You can understand that from Pep's point of view, I think. But if Sherky would have come, he would have won that Villa match. There's no doubt about it. JSK says, what a goal by Marmoush. He's really learning from Salah. But first, I think that's a goal kick. That's a goal kick. And City are preparing two subs. That finish is just outstanding. And just yeah, again, I think this is other similarity with Julian Alvarez, which Marmoush shares. That goal which you lifted in to the top of the roof from that angle. I saw Aguero score it. I've not seen anyone score it better than Aguero. But Alvarez and Marmoush, both of them also do that. Very few players have that finish in their locker where it is they lifted onto the roof of the goal. Aguero was by far the best at it. Aguero was by far the best at it, to be honest. JS says, oh 07 Sharky is over. Instagram. He's just been outstanding again. I mean, what a game Sharky's played here. And those idiot Liverpool fans, they want to compare him to Florian Wirtz. By Jesus, even if he weren't injured, by now we all know about Pep's subs timing. Right, yeah. But Bayaji, I think Pep actually for once I think he has taken a new stance with Ryan Sherky because uh because I think Pep started Ryan Sherky in that Spurs game as a cam. I think if we all remember, and Haaland and Marmos missed many chances in there. So I just think I think with Ryan Sharkey it's a bit different because Pep is trusting Ryan Sharkey in that cam position. He started him against Spurs injury, and after that he's trusted him here. Generally, Pep does not give that cam position to people. You see, Foden took a long time to earn it. Jeremy Doku can finish off the game here, but he doesn't with his shit finishing. Oscar Bob, Oscar, cut in. Ah, Swansea will come at us. We need that third goal, to be honest. Bayeji says, imagine Nico Gonzalez has been absolutely solid. Bayeji says, Bayeji says, imagine KDB and Sherky ahead of Dino. But Bayeji, we cannot complain in that era. We cannot complain in that era because we had David Silva and Kevin De Bruyne in front of Fernandinho, especially in those 1 or 2 years when we won the Centurions and the next year when we won the title. So I think for me David Silva is the only player who could get in into that Barcelona team probably ahead of Andres Iniesta. Is that good. I think Pepe once mentioned in his autobiography, in his biography or something, that he saw David Silva as the only player who could get in ahead of in that Barcelona midfield ahead of Iniesta. So I think can't complain. But yeah, KDB Sharky would just have been something else. But KDB David Silva as well. David Silva sliding in those passes to Leroy Sané. That was just something else. What great days they were when we had two proper wingers. JSK says 007 means zero goal, zero assist, seven appearance. And I know you're referring to Florian Wirtz, but JSK I think it's nine appearances in the Premier League. Nine appearances in the Premier League for Florian Wirtz, not seven. Why this is KDB Gundo Rodri was world class trier but got over in no time. That was again Foden. Uh, City are now having an extra player back. Florian Wirtz had nine appearances and zero goals and zero assists in the Premier League. JSK. By this is KDB Gundo Rodri was world class trier, but got over in no time. I think they had a decent period. I think they had a decent period. I think what they were with us for 3 years. I think that's not offside. The timing of the run is immaculate, but that's not offside. The run's been timed well. But I think what they've had, I think around 3 4 years at the top, which is classically a cycle. But yeah, KDB, Gundo, I think you could we could rave. I honestly think we could rave about the KDB, Silva, and Fernandino midfield. But I just think KDB, Gundo, and Rodri was, I think, the most complete midfield. I would call KDB, David Silva, and Fernandino the most magical midfield, but this is the most complete midfield, KDB, Gundo, Rodri, because the best attacking midfielder, the best CDM, and the best box to box midfielder. Three of them at that time, in those 3 years, 4 year period, they were playing. And Gundogan making those late runs into the box, that finishing, outstanding. That was one of the best. That was one. That was the best midfield at that time for those 3 years. Yes, because it's not ahead of Iniesta, ahead of Busquets. He literally did it in Euro 2012. I, I mean, I, I mean, I was telling to play that cam role, maybe to play that cam role in that Barcelona midfield. That is the only thing I was telling to probably play that cam role. I just think he would get ahead of. I mean, if you had to choose, my question was if you had to choose Iniesta or David Silva for that attacking role, because I don't think anyone can come ahead of Xavi, but David Silva starts ahead of Iniesta. Pep, in fact, tried to sign David Silva, but Silva came to us. That's what I respect David Silva even more. Looking at these Florian words and people throwing excuses, oh, my development will be great under slot. Liverpool have a project, but here was David Silva who came to us. That's why I always say where a Kaka rejected us, where and those sort of players rejected us. A David Silva and a Yaya Toure believed in our project. That is the kind of that is why we have so much respect for David Silva. Bayaji says Frankfurt had one job, keep the streak going. भैया फ्लोरियन वर्ड्स तो अपना ससुराल में आ गया था ससुराल में तो खातिरदारी होगी फ्लोरियन वर्ड्स का that's why the German team made Liverpool win even after taking a lead. That's why Florian Wirtz, just imagine Florian Wirtz cannot give an assist against bloody Brentford and he gives an assist in that against a Champions League team. ससुराल गया था खातिरदारी हो गई ससुराल से वापस आ गया फ्लोरियन वर्ड्स और असलियत फिर से सामने आ गई wonderful offside line again superb from City. You're into the 90th minute. Baiji says when we actually won the CL, every player on the field was signed by Pep as KDB had gone off the field and KDB as well was signed by Pep Baiji. In fact, that was the season when I think Pellegrini announced. I think KDB came in. Pellegrini announced he would be going. He announced it at half the season and Pep. After there was a game, Wolfsburg Bayern and Kevin De Bruyne. I think it was in the Super Cup or something at the start of the season or something. I don't know. And Wolfsburg or a league game, maybe Wolfsburg completely destroy Bayern and Pep was the coach of Bayern then. And Pep already knew he was coming to City. I think he calls Tixi Bagaristan and says sign Kevin De Bruyne. So I think even De Bruyne was signed by Pep Guardiola then there. Why this as red card pool? And who got the red card? Who got the red card, Bayaji? Who got the red card? 3-0 Palace. Who got the red card? Who got the red card? Who got the red card, Bayaji? Is it? Don't tell me it's Arne Slot. I mean, just joking, but don't tell me it's Florian Words. Who got the red card? Because remember, the red card in this game will, I think it will carry on even for the Premier League games. So it's interesting who got the red card. Josko Guardiol's looked very, very solid. Jeremy Doku. By this is some academy player, Nialo. uh, but such a satisfaction. I mean, Liverpool, that's a foul on Jeremy Doku, but Liverpool fans this season, at the start of the season, when you were talking to them, especially after winning their first three matches when they were not playing well, they were like, this is the hallmark of champions. We are going to do four in a row, we are going to do three in a row, as if it's just a piece of cake to do three in a row and a four in a row. That's what they were talking about. People so very underestimate how difficult it is to even win back to back titles in this league. Bayaji, this is just mad. What is happening in this Wolves Chelsea game? Chelsea, they're just showing the score here. It's popping up. Chelsea just now, Chelsea just now is 4-2 up. But a minute later, Wolves is 3-4. Wolves score a goal, 3-4. It's some crazy shit going on in that Chelsea Wolves game. Wow, 3-4. This Carabao Cup games have been much more entertaining than we have imagined. There's a switch on, but yeah, 6 minutes of added time. Wow. So all the Liverpool fans were, I mean, people are just underestimating, like I was telling, how difficult it is to win back-to-back titles in this league. Who was the last manager before Pep Guardiola to win back-to-back titles in this league? I think Alex Ferguson, and you have to go all the way back to 2008-9 season, I think. What a goal that is! Woo! Is it Ryan Sharkey? Ryan Sharkey, the finish, the man, the myth, and the finish. Wow, Ryan Sharkey! Woo! What a goal! What a man and what a midfielder we have signed! Wow, this is just outstanding. This is just outstanding. Wow, what a player we have signed, Bayaji. What a player we have signed. Wow, the 200 million pound cam that we got for the 200 million pound cam that we got for 30 million pounds. Wow, and I think we have to remember his ambidextrous. Thierry Henry says is one of the best players of both foot he has ever seen. He has not seen a player dribble so well with both the foot. Last season, Ryan Cherky has had equal number of goals and assists with both his foot. He can play off both the foot, but Ryan Cherky assist goal. Wow, what a man! He's put in what a performance that is Ryan Cherky. I mean, wow. People say we have let Cole Palmer go and look what he's become. But I think we have got Ryan Cherky who can perform to that level. We've got Ryan Cherky who's in fact higher than that level as well. By Jesus assist and a goal, Pep must find a place for him versus Bournemouth. Right wing, Bayaji, right wing. I think it will be a toss up. I think Reinders plays. Sorry, Nico Gonzalez plays. Obviously, if Rodri is not injured, then Rodri will play. But Nico Gonzalez plays. One of Kovacic or Reinders have to play because you cannot have both Foden and Sharky in the same midfield. Bournemouth will run us over. Then I think it's a toss up. Do you want Sharky in the middle, Foden on the right, or do you want Ryan Sharky on the right, Foden in the middle? I don't mind either because Sharky on the right will get so much more space. He can give those crosses into the box for Erling Haaland. He's given few crosses today, so that will actually be. I mean, I think that must be the setup. I think on the right wing, please do not start Savinho, Oscar Bob, and all on the right wing. Start either Foden or Sharky. One in the midfield, one on the right wing. But Ryan Sharky, wow. Again, I think you can start Sharky on the right wing and have Sharky cut inside, and you can have Matthews Nunes overlapping or Kushano overlapping. I don't think you can play Matthews Nunes in that Bournemouth game because Semenyo will eat him alive. Semenyo will kill him. So I think it's O'Reilly and Kushano as our fullbacks. Guardiola and Diaz or Guardiola or Scholes, I don't mind either. I think that's our team versus Bournemouth, to be honest. Donnarumma, O'Reilly, Kushano, Guardiola, Stones, or Diaz, Gonzalez, Randers, or Kovacic, Foden, Sharky, Doku, sorry, Sharky, Marmos, Haaland. Real Diami says, Sharky, what a signing. Glad you're back, buddy. Glad you're back. I mean, again, I repeat the 30 million pound cam, the 200 million pound cam, which you have got for 30 million. This has been the Sharky show. This has been the Sharky show. And ironically, what a night. Liverpool lost 3-0 against Palace, and our 30 million pound cam, 3-0 there, our 30 million pound cam has a goal and an assist. And Florian Wirtz, I don't know Wirtz has started this game or not. Florian Wirtz, zero goals, zero assists in England. Zero goals, zero assists in England in English competitions. Still, Real Academy says hope he starts in big games. He will. After this performance, you will have to start him. After this performance, Pep will tell to Sharky, here's the lineup sheet. Please write. Please write your name and go. Bayaji says Sharky at right wing, at least one wing will be productive. But Bayaji, Marmoush on the left wing, Sharky on the right wing, Foden strike. I think now both the wings will be productive. Sorry, Haaland strike. Both the wings will be productive. So, I mean, either Foden or Sharky. I mean, both are acceptable on the right wing. JSK says, what a finish. Imagine if Doku had this finish. JSK, there was an earlier finish as well. There was an earlier finish where in the first half when we were 1-0 down, where he almost, does it with the outside of his foot, just onto the pole. From his outside of the foot, he just pushes it onto the. I think it hits the goal post and it goes into the goalkeeper's hands. That was also an excellent finish. On another day, Sharky should have had a hat trick of assists and a hat trick of goals today. And I mean, he has one assist, one goal, and still we are disappointed that he doesn't have an hat trick of assists and hat trick of goals today. That is the performance of this man. What a signing! What a signing! Real Diamisis, do you think Arne Slot should be sacked if he continues this performance? Reality, I mean, I think it was in the Athletic or BBC's, I think Telegraph, I don't know, it was in a good paper that an article came where Slot has four chances to save his job. Brentford, Palace, Real Madrid, City. I think the easier games are gone. Brentford is over. Palace is over. Now it's Real Madrid and City. I think the answer is there. I think that the question is, will Slot be, it's not whether Slot will be in danger or not. The question is, can City finish Liverpool off? Can City absolutely kill Liverpool off? And this was a team, Liverpool, at the start of the season when they did not deserve to win and they were winning. All of their fans were telling, "We will do we'll do two in a row, bro. We'll do two in a row, guys. We are aiming for three in a row. We are aiming for a treble. We're aiming even for the quadruple." Liverpool fans were telling last season we were disappointed because we got out early in the Champions League. No, bro, the talent of this team does not deserve just the Premier League enough. This season they're having an humbling. These idiots, Liverpool fans, they actually think that winning back-to-back titles is so easy. In a 20 in 30 years since the Premier League has come around, 1992 to till now, except Alex Ferguson on two occasions and Pep Guardiola on two occasions, I do not think anyone has retained the Premier League back to back. I think Pep Guardiola has done it back to back to back, and then back to back as well once more. I think they are thinking retaining the Premier League is a joke. Liverpool fans, especially after last season, they are thinking winning the Champions League is a joke. After, I mean, you guys have won the Premier League under club after 2 decades, and and then one under Slot after so much time for 5 years, and you are just behaving like asses, and this was bound to happen. That fan base needed a humbling, but no one thought that humbling will be this. And guys, you know what? And guys, you know what it is? Every Liverpool fan was telling me, "Will give Manchester United a humbling and sack Ruben Amorim, and it's Arne Slot who's getting sacked." Baya just says in slot wheat prast. And Liverpool fans were acting as if after that first Premier League title win by Aji, they were acting as if they found out the new Pep Guardiola. They found out a diamond from some African mine. They just found out which Arne Slot from nowhere, that no other team could see. They were telling not only our system, our player scouting system, but also our कोच स्काउटिंग सिस्टम इज आल्सो आउटस्टैंडिंग दैट्स व्हाट दे वर टेलिंग ये है तुम्हारा मैनेजर जिसने तुम्हें तलाशा 500 मिलियन पाउंड्स डाउन द ड्रेन 500 मिलियन पाउंड्स डाउन द ड्रेन JSK says, by the way, last question, why he was ineffective against Spurs? Can we expect him against Big Six like today performance? JSK, the thing is, he was not ineffective against Spurs. I think JSK, before Spurs scored the first goal, he put Marmoush through. He put Haaland through. He put Reinders through. We missed. Doku had a great chance. Okay, even if I take the Doku chance out, Sharky put three people one-on-ones, Marmos, Haaland and Reinders, and none of them could finish. What else could he do? So he was not ineffective against Spurs. It looked ineffective because we did not score those goals and Spurs scored those goals. Spurs are an absolute ass of a team. Spurs are not that good. If City were good, we could have smoked them 5-0 Spurs. The position of Spurs in the Premier League table is wrong. Spurs, he was not ineffective. Yes, he was dropping deep to control the play, but he was very, very good. And we didn't finish against Spurs. Haaland was not. Haaland somehow he didn't finish well against Spurs. Marmoush didn't finish. Yeah. So and also the goals we conceded to Spurs, absolute ass goals each one. Trafford gifting the ball away, and John Stones slipping. Right now, he getting injured. A lot of things happen. The Spurs are a nice team. So apart from that, every game Sharky's come. The first game against Wolves, superb. I think he scored a goal. He did not assist, but he scored a goal. I think for sure. And then against Everton, he put Haaland through one on one. I think twice or thrice. Haaland should have scored those goals. One on one, literally. This game magic. He was magic in the Champions League games in the time he came on. So Sharky's been on it from minute one, and you have to remember Sharky did not have any preseason. Even the Club World Cup from minute one, Sharky was outstanding. He was very very good in the Club World Cup. I think he scored a goal in the Club World Cup as well. By Jesus versus Spurs, he was wandering too deep, but he gave chances. By he created chances against Spurs. We didn't finish. We didn't finish. If you remember, our XG was something 3 or 4 in that Spurs game. JSK says, by the way, in the next stream, tell me how your Liverpool fan is after 3-0 lost against Palace is not even calling up right now to discuss football. He doesn't discuss football. I mean, especially Liverpool, he doesn't discuss Liverpool. I mean, now you know how he's feeling. Real ADM says Doku and Sharky got to start daily. And you're another Savinho fan. Looks like Real ADME, but Savinho is now. I actually have soft corner for Savinho, but I still think Savinho's been absolute ass. Savinho's been absolute ass. But again, like I told, 19 years of age, 20 years of age, and Ronaldo got into his prime at 24. So I think I'll give Savinho this season. But on the left, I would not want. Doku, Real Adeyemi. I would want Marmoush on the left and Sherky or Foden on the right and one in the middle. You know what Marmoush does? Haaland drops deep. Marmoush makes those runs beyond. So what that does is it gives the centre backs a question to think about. Do I stay with Haaland or do I mark Marmoush who makes those runs? If I leave my fullback, that sided fullback, their right-sided fullback to mark Marmoush, then there'll be spaces elsewhere. With Doku, the thing is, Doku is a player who relies on small bursts of pace. So you can team up on him. Two people on Doku, and you can easily defend. Center back does not have a decision to make there. With Marmoush, he always since he makes those runs and Haaland runs deep. So I think Marmoush we see more dynamic, and Marmoush can finish well than Doku. So I think should be Marmoush and Sherky or Foden, and one in the middle. Reality, is a senior, exactly 19-20 year old. By this says after defeat, every fan turns into a philosopher. I was after World Cup 23 defeat. It's the same with us by Ajay. I mean, one of my not related to football, but one of my most painful defeats was I think when India lost that World Cup 2008 World Cup, when India went out in the group stages, losing to Bangladesh, and and at that point of time, you probably were thinking it might be Sachin's last World Cup due to the age and all, and all of those things. So it was sad. That World Cup was so much sad. And at that time I had a Dhoni shirt and I wore the Dhoni shirt 2008 when India crashed out and I went into a Kirana shop, general store, and he was telling, "Why don't you burn that shirt?" I mean, people were so angry. I just felt shit. I just felt shit. Just remember that moment when you told about the World Cup defeat. Real India misses also Foden. Nothing Foden's on. Foden's bank on. Foden's just increasing his fitness. Real India, I think. And once Foden comes into form, I think, guys, the Premier League ain't ready. Premier League तैयार नहीं है. Premier League ain't ready for Foden in his full form, Sharky in his full form, Erling Haaland already there, Marmoush showing what he is, Rodri coming back to his full fitness. The Premier League ain't ready for this. And right now, when he comes back to his full fitness, Oral is doing a good job, but the Premier League ain't ready. He's looking at right now, he's dribbling, crosses, just imagine Haaland, Foden, Sharky, Reinders. The Premier League ain't ready for Reinders as well. Just see how he's played in Serie A. Every AC Milan fan will tell you Reinders is an absolute steal. The Premier League ain't ready. We have to remember Phil Foden had carried us to a title. I think 17 goals in that 18-9, sorry, in that 23-24 season. I think the season before last season when we won the fourth title in a row. Foden carried us. He hit 10 long range shots from outside the box. You have Foden, you have Ryan Sharkey, who's literally carried Lyon. He almost turned a Nations League match single-handedly against Spain. Sharkey, who can single-handedly turn matches. Haaland, you know what he can do. This league ain't ready for the bazooka, guys. Grinders, Grinders, Sharkey. I mean, this has the makings of another legendary team. Wow, it has the makings of another absolutely legendary team. The Premier League ain't ready for this. And with Kushano at right back, I already see we have got someone who can be a Walker replacement. The pace, the power, the physicality, the counter attack, the recovery of the ball from counter attacks, the recovery pace against Arsenal. Kushano absolutely destroyed their right wing. Sorry, their left wing. We are ready with our right back as well. I think this team is just gelling so well. This team is just gelling so well. I think if there comes a scenario that come February or come January the second half of the season, and we are around 6-7 points of Arsenal, we can do it, guys. I somehow think we can do it, guys. We can do it because the Arsenal team does not have anyone who's won the league before. I mean, Gyökeres won the won the Portuguese league. That's not a thing. But the Arsenal team does not have a single winner. But look at us, Ryan Sherky. The mentality, absolute winning mentality. Ford and all. And, the mentality of these players is superb. So 7 points come January, come January 2nd. I think we can do it. I think we can do it, provided no injuries and all. I think we have a fair enough chance, even though I think success this season is one of the domestic cups, semi-finals in the Champions League, and second place in the Premier League, as top two in the Premier League. So it's interesting. Real Diami says, would you have liked to get Rodrigo? Of course, yes, real Adiami, yes. I would have loved to get Rodrigo, but again, it's a gamble that they've taken. That it seems that Ferran Soriano, everybody accepted it, but Ferran Soriano, who's a CEO, he blocked the Savinho move because he apparently rates Savinho to have a higher ceiling than Rodrigo. Now Ferran Soriano's constructed Barcelona. He's been at the forefront of all of those youth coming from Barcelona in the 2008-9 season when Pep went there. So I think Ferran Soriano, it seems, was adamant. I leave the job, or you do not, or you sell Savinho. So it seems he sees a very high ceiling for Savinho. So and he's 19 years of age and Rodrigo 23. I think maybe 1927, but in 3 more years maybe Savinho can fulfill that potential. I don't know, I have a strong feeling because I have seen Savinho carry Girona from relegation fodder to competing for the title until April. They defeated Barcelona twice. They finished third or fourth that season at the end. So I've seen Savinho do that. He was one of the best. He was the second best player after Jude Bellingham in that season, the season before we signed him. So I've seen Savinho in that mode, which means I've not seen Rodrigo in that mode. Yes, Rodrigo's hit crucial goals, but I've seen Savinho, a player who's carried a team throughout a season. So that's why I think even I rate Savinho a bit higher, and that's why on this community here I'm like trust Savinho a little bit more. Yes, Savinho is ass right now. Savinho is ass right now, but please give Savinho a bit of the season because I've just seen and The potential is more than Rodrigo. I think Savinho's potential is more than Rodrigo, but right now he's not even half the player of Rodrigo. Uh, Bayaji says, give us Cardiff in quarterfinals. And United fans cry. Bayaji, the irony of it, the hypocrisy of this is Bayaji, that United fans cry that City always get easy draws. City always get easy draws in cup competitions. And the irony is they cannot beat Grimsby Town, two divisions below the championship. I think League Two. Grimsby Town they cannot beat. That too with Mbumo, Cunha, Sesko, Bruno Fernandes. You take £1 billion team and you cannot beat Grimsby Town, who I do not think cost more than even £100,000. The hypocrisy of United fans, the hypocrisy of Liverpool fans. We know the hypocrisy of Arsenal fans anyway. But this is the Sharky night. This is the night when Sharky has introduced himself to England. And if Foden can get back into form, it will just be wow. It will just be absolute wow. What a game by Ryan Sharky again. Today it's cheers to Ryan Sharky. Well done, mate. What a night, mate. Super from Ryan Sharky. Outstanding. Outstanding. We have again before leaving. I'll just repeat the 100 pound, uh, the 100 pound cam, the 200 pound cam we got for 30 million pounds. That is Ryan Sharkey in a nutshell. Superb. Again, thank you Bayaji, thank you JSK, thank you Real Etiami, and thank you Shubhankar for joining me on the stream. It's been a pleasure as usual, and we'll be back for the champions for the match against Bournemouth again on this live streaming, I've thoroughly enjoyed the stream and the conversations with you all. Wow, this was one hell of a match. It was much more interesting than I've actually thought, and the conversations with all of you guys made it much more interesting. Anyway, see you all guys and take care.